Let's do this.
So I saw you did like a 60, 70 mile bike to Rockaway this weekend.
Biked everywhere.
Yeah.
Had nothing else to do.
Yep, because I ended up going to the shore, Wildwood, and while we were there, our friends Chris and Anthony were there, and we played that Kickstarter game, Scoville.
Based on peppers?
Yes. You breed peppers and you crossbreed them, and there's different kinds of peppers. So I'm not going to fully review it because Scott's got to play it a whole bunch, and I got to play it more. But
you should have to eat peppers to play the game. Then it would be a good game, right?
That would be interesting if the pepper you
at
breed...
the end of each turn, whoever has the lowest number of points must eat one of their peppers, or something like that.
So the gist of it, the way it works, is that basically you plant peppers, like everyone plants a pepper, like somewhere on the board, and then to harvest, you walk along the path. There's like a shared space in the middle, and you walk 3 spaces.
I've seen mechanics like that.
And every you crop, but you don't walk like square to square. You walk along the edges of where the peppers are, and you collect the pepper that would be bred by the peppers on either side of each space.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a ghost pepper next to a white pepper, then I think Daddy gets 2 white peppers. Or if there's a red pepper and a red pepper, you get 2 red peppers. But a red and a green, or a red and a blue, I think makes a brown. There's like 7, 8, there's like 10 or 11 different kinds of peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pretty good game. I'm actually kind of into it now. I got to play it again, though. We were kind of in a hurry to get on the road to beat the traffic back to New York because we played it on Sunday, like right before we left.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this game might be up our alley, and I might acquire a copy of it.
You acquire all the stuff you want in your house.
Oh, you done buying board games?
I'm going to be selling a lot of stuff. I need room.
Yeah. Thing is, very few of the board games I own, I'm kind of willing. The only game I still own that I'm willing to part with is Gloria Mundi, because that game's kind of just bad. Like, really bad.
I have games that, don't get played, and I don't really care.
You own Eclipse, right?
I got an Eclipse, but I'll keep my Eclipse.
Oh, but when are you going to play that again?
I'll play it.
When was the last time you opened that Eclipse?
I don't know, but you never know when an Eclipse will happen.
Yeah. We should just start playing some Eclipse.
But I got games like Le Havre, which is not
I like that game okay.
Like Thurn and Taxis. Like, these are not bad games, but I'm not going to play them, and they're taking up a lot of space relative to...
Yeah, you know what I realized? Those are the kinds of games that I kind of would want to keep. Because
I got Puerto Rico, I got T&E, I'm good.
But they're good games to own as like a collection of like, you have a board game night, and you're like, all right, here's a game you guys have never played.
Oh, you want them then?
But that sentiment only applied when I lived in a house.
Yeah, you want those games?
Now that I live in an apartment, no. You want Gloria Mundi?
No.
I will keep Tikal though, because
wait, Gloria Mundi. Which one's that?
The one you really don't remember?
Is that the one with the goth chasing you?
It's the goth chasing you.
Oh, you should play that.
That game sucks though.
No, it doesn't.
You don't remember playing it? You don't remember?
I remember it was kind of fun running away from the goth.
Yeah, that was fun, but the actual game just came down to you always pay the goth.
Well,
like
let's play it again one more time so I can remember.
I think the last time we played it was a New Year's party.
Maybe, but I forgot about that. Let's play
I could get it out. We could play it again. The thing is, if we play it again and do a show on it, we're also getting
I thought we did a
Tikal.
show on it like 100 years ago.
How about this, though? Because you seem to have fonder memories of it than I do. Let's bust out Tikal and Gloria Mundi.
But
play
Tikal's an
once.
okay game.
Yeah, let's play them each once and then review them again.
There's nothing wrong with Tikal.
Yeah, but see, like, the last time I played Tikal was actually a long time ago. I wonder if my opinion will change.
You just walk around digging up pyramids.
Yeah, put your machine gun guy on top of the one most valuable pyramid.
Right.
Go after the tents, except no, the tents are never a good
Hope
idea.
the volcano shows up at the good time for you.
Yeah. So, the main thing going on right now that's been going on for a while is
it's over now.
Yeah, I guess it is completely over, right? I didn't watch any
It's
of
over.
the last runs.
It's over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, August 2nd. I guess that was the last day.
Yes.
As usual, it's a miracle we have enough energy to do blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, Summer Games Done Quick. The secret to Summer Games Done Quick is to watch them all on YouTube after the fact so you don't get ads like you do in the Twitch stream.
I don't get ads in the Twitch stream with my ad block.
Your ad block... Actually, I've never used ad block with Twitch. Does it just block the ad?
I mean, I'm using uBlock Origin or Microblock Origin, whatever you want to call it. But even when I used AdBlock Plus, I never see ads on YouTube or on Twitch.
I don't see them on YouTube, but I see the first ad on Twitch.
I don't see any ad on Twitch unless I use like my phone or something.
Yeah.
And the Twitch app.
Yeah, Summer Games Done Quick was a pretty good run this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, we already had AGDQ, right? Awesome Games Done Quick. So they have 2 events, Summer Games Done Quick. This year it was in like St. Paul, Minnesota or something. But they got a surprising turnout of runners showing up to this thing, not net runners, speed runners, who put on quite a display. They had 4-way Super Metroid race, which is always the highlight. The correct choice of Save the Animals was the winner, as it was last time as well. For the Tetris, the Grandmaster Edition, they put the pretty good show on with that the last time. This time, they brought over people from Japan, so they had like probably the best collection of Tetris players ever assembled in a single location.
I was particularly enjoying the Gauntlet one because I did not actually, as a kid, I bet Gauntlet 2 was the first one I got on the NES. So I played Gauntlet in the arcade, and I got Gauntlet 2, which is pretty much like the arcade on the NES. And then later I got Gauntlet 1 and all this weird shit like a map and all this stuff I didn't get. I didn't know you could beat Gauntlet 1.
Of course you can.
No, I didn't know you could do that.
It just costs a lot of money to beat Gauntlet 1.
Because Gauntlet 2 just goes on forever. But yeah, Gauntlet 1, the best part about the speedrun is he starts going, then he gets his password, and he's like, no, stop the clock. We got to start over. My password started with an A. The game is unbeatable. Yep. Apparently, there's a bug where if your password starts with an A, then the game is unbeatable.
Yep, because you need to type in that code at the end.
Yep, and you won't be able to. Like, it just won't happen.
All right, other interesting runs that I saw during the weekend of awesomeness. Obviously, Symphony of the Night Race is always a good show.
Yep.
Right,
Super Metroid was pretty good, too.
Well, I mean, all the classics, right? The ones they have every single time are always good. That's why they have them every single time, right? But there was the Majora's Mask.
There was a Shenmue 2.
The Majora's Mask was crazy. The Earthbound was pretty crazy.
I'm going to watch the Chrono Trigger later.
The Oregon Trail, they had an Apple II GS up-ins. There was a Super Noah's Ark 3D that I didn't watch yet, but I want to.
I don't know. It's just, I don't feel like watching that one. That feels like it won't be fun. Unless the people doing it are funny.
A lot of the ones that, like, you're like, I'm not sure if I want to watch this, are very short. And it's like, oh, it's only like 5 minutes. Okay, let's see what the deal is. Right?
Oh, yeah, like it wasn't this time. It was a while ago. But Super Pitfall is actually a great speed run to watch.
Even though Super Pitfall is an awful game.
Because the guy is really, really funny, and he knows a lot about the game.
Yeah, there was a crazy Pokemon Blue situations going on. I have to watch those still. There was, the TazBot, which is the tool-assisted speedrun bot. It played Mega Man 1 and did crazy glitches, which is, kind of interesting for about a minute. But the Ikaruga one, it basically gets the maximum achievable score, 2-player Ikaruga. It's both players are being controlled by the bot. And I think the highlight this year was the Chrono Trigger at the end, but I haven't watched that either because it's 4 hours. So I need to find 4 hours of time to set aside, which is actually a lot less time than it would take for me to play Chrono Trigger again.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just watch this, and then I wanted to play Chrono Trigger again, because I think it's 100% Chrono Trigger
100% co-op runs. I guess they switched in and out.
Yeah, I guess people, traded.
Well, there was an incentive for 100%. So they didn't have to, I guess, but I guess more money.
I think basically the way it works is like one of their sponsors is the Yeti, which is this T-shirt site, which isn't bad. And the Yeti basically like matches donations that everyone's making, and also sponsors. But what they do is they end up actually just sending in their donations just like everyone else does, only they're from the Yeti.
Oh.
So, they'll be reading off donations, and they always read the donations from the Yeti, right? Because it's the big sponsor. So whenever they read the Yeti donations, the Yeti always basically fills in every single incentive with the thousands of dollars that they're, donating.
But yeah, if we mentioned this was coming a long time ago, and then we didn't talk about it again, but just go watch all the stuff on YouTube. Some of these are great.
Yeah, watching live does have a certain, especially if you got people on Twitter who are talking about it.
So luckily, no one I follow on Twitter.
But the Twitch chat is worthless.
The only one of these that anyone in my follow group talked about on Twitter was the Chrono Trigger. And I avoided spoilers. I don't know if they save Magus or not.
I don't know how it works either.
They better save Magus. Fuck Frog.
What? Frog is my man.
Yeah, but Magus is
So much
tragic.
sword. So much sword with the
Also,
frog.
Magus floats on the overworld, so make him your leader. And like, why would you ever do anything else?
So much sword.
So in other news, remember that old game? We did a show on this on Geeknights, like what, 6 years ago, longer.
Well, it's a very unique and high quality game that's been around for a long time and has managed to keep going despite
yeah, but there is the battle for Wesnoth was just like
an open source turn-based strategy game that has had an active community and has gradually improved over years and years and years.
Or possibly gotten worse because the campaigns kept breaking.
Maybe, but I never played the campaigns. We really just played multiplayer.
Yeah, well, the game it's interesting because this is one of the rare examples of a large game, like a very large, complex
Relatively
game
large.
That I'd say it's very large in terms of the framework. I mean, it has a whole framework and its own scripting language just for making all those scenarios.
Sure, yeah.
It also has like the back end and the netcode and a significant amount of moderately well-drawn art assets and poorly drawn art assets.
Well, it's an open source game. What do you think the art's going to be like?
But I'm hard-pressed to name larger open source game projects.
Oh, there was that FPS that was like a Quake clone thingy. What was that thing called? I forget.
Yeah, there you go. But Wesnoth
Frozen Bubble's usually the example of open source game, right? So
Yep.
Wesnoth is pretty great by comparison.
But Wesnoth is having a problem. Apparently, there's no one left to write code for it.
Like the people are starting to quit now that it's been like a 20-year-old project.
To quote the article, the ship is sinking. The project is asking...
Wait, but someone wrote the ship is sinking. That means someone's on the ship to write that it's sinking.
There are a few people on the ship, but basically they need people with C++, Python, and WML programming experience.
Well, WML is
the Wesnoth markup language.
Nobody knows the Wesnoth markup language unless they're already a Wesnoth person.
So
you're going to need people to learn the Wesnoth markup language.
If you are a punk kid and you want something to do to like...
And you like turn-based strategy games like Advance Wars, only with fantasy themes?
Yep. This project is hurting for developers enough that you can probably have a lot of influence in a hurry.
On a game that a lot of people kind of care about.
Yeah. But two, I don't think it's going to make it.
It has minor history. You think it's going to be the end of Wesnoth?
I think Wesnoth is not
Bloody
going to...
Foxton has come to be?
Foxton is the final resting place of these sad souls.
Okay.
So part of the problem I saw is that I was reading through like Slashshot, which is not the most...
But Slashshot is the very Wesnoth... That's a place that Wesnoth players
so
would be.
It's interesting because a lot of accounts with way old numbers on Slashshot, like my people...
Suddenly appeared to
talk about Wesnoth.
Yeah.
And more than one of them was like, I tried to contribute, but the developers are assholes and things along those lines.
I believe that.
There seems to be an infinite amount of drama around this project.
Listen, in an open source world, somehow assholes get shit done. Look at Linux.
Yeah, but I think the problem is that games like this really need like game design independently of the coding and the changes there.
Well, Wesnoth always had some design issues.
Exactly. But the people who were the best coders were also the ones who had a lot of the input over the design.
Well, I mean, you just code and you set the design, right? There's no director.
What you're describing right now is open source UX in general.
I mean, the GIMP is totally fine, right?
Sure. I don't know. Maybe the GIMP's improved. No, I pay for real Photoshop now, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have real Photoshop, but at work I have the GIMP. So my workflow is do a bunch of stuff. Why the fuck is this broken? Flatten image, continue working. Why the fuck is this broken? Flatten image, continue going. I made a layer once, and that ended my project.
Okay.
But
I made a layer once.
Wesnoth just was never quite there, and the biggest problem seems to be
I made a layer.
that WML language kept changing with no backward compatibility, and they kept changing gameplay stuff. So they had a lot of people who made a lot of
they changed
content.
their language without changing the campaigns.
Or
and they
the
broke them.
coders changed subtle gameplay things that broke the campaigns because, you can't win this one now because that dude just isn't strong enough.
Oh, stuff like that.
Like, there is no way to have dependencies on gameplay in scenarios and vice versa. There's no way to, like, snapshot or freeze, like, sets of game mechanics. So the project is such a big mess that, in my opinion, unless they freeze that language and they freeze gameplay and design and focus only on fixing the code and bugs and issues for a while and have a stable platform for a while, I don't think this thing's ever going to get beyond where it is right now.
Well, who knows? I haven't played it in years, and I wasn't really planning to play it again. So.
Yeah. Thing is, as fun as it was no Advance Wars.
No, it was not.
Wasn't Alex working on that?
I mean, he did
Yeah.
it for a little bit back when we were really playing it. I think he made some sprites for it, maybe, and
Yep.
coded some stuff. That was way back.
Yeah. The part of the trouble is the game never got polished enough to be worth investing the time and being great at it.
Mm-hmm.
Partly because the gameplay kept changing. Like, I'm good at Advance Wars. I wouldn't be good at Advance Wars, like, revision 809, build 7.
Yeah, it's like every time there's a new Advance Wars, you had to relearn it anyway, right? So
Yeah.
if it's constantly changing. It's difficult. And you know what? That's why Netrunner is awesome.
But yeah, I'll link to the Slashdot article because the comments is a lot of people who know a lot about Wesnoth pretty much shedding light on things and linking to, like, old bugs they opened in 2008.
Let me show you my Ubuntu bug.
So, but anyway, things of the day. I have for you an AGDQ, not an SDGQ, but this is a game that when I was a kid I played. And well, I rented from Blockbuster because it had really good box art and looked like it had good graphics. And my brother and I couldn't get out of like the first two screens. And we did not get out of those
I think I
first few
played it on an
screens.
emulator once and couldn't get past the first two screens.
Yeah, in the whole weekend, and we took the game back.
I mean, I only spent about 10 minutes on it.
And this game haunted me, but not enough to go figure it out.
You know why this game haunts me? Because every time I go to a convention, MagFest, PAX, anywhere, and there's always that one booth selling the retro games, and they've got a whole bunch of overpriced NES cartridges.
Yep.
This game is 100% of the time always in the library, in the selection available.
So this is a speed run of that game, and a huge lingering chapter of my childhood unresolved hitherto has henceforth been resolved, and I have closure. Also, the music in this game,
Pretty good.
kind of catchy.
Yeah. So the SGDQ sort of, always inspires you to try to be a speedrunner.
Yep.
So I opened up MAME and I wanted to play Tetris Grandmaster myself, and I played it a bit, and yeah, I couldn't get past like level 100 something, and that took me 4 minutes. Meanwhile, 4 minutes in, those guys like at level 900 or whatever.
Well, it just takes practice.
800, who knows? Yeah, obviously. I don't think that there's any amount of practice I could put in that would get me at their level. I could be better, obviously, but not as good as them. So while I had my MAME open, I tried some other things. I played some Dodonpachi and whatever, and then I realized, whoa, I'm sitting here with my joystick playing all these arcade games, you know. There's I can just play Street Fighter Championship Edition. It's just right here, just like the old arcade days. So I opened it up, I started playing, my guy M. Bison.
Yeah.
And, this is on arcade hard mode, make you lose quarters mode. And I get to Ryu, the fifth guy, and I just can't win. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I used to be able to beat this game. Am I that old? I can't even win? And it's like, I take a round and then lose 2 rounds. So I'm like, let me go on the internet and find a video, of beating Ryu. Maybe there's something I'm doing wrong. And there was something I'm doing wrong. I forgot the thing in that game is that M. Bison middle kick basically just beats everything because it has so much reach and it has enough strength. You can basically just middle kick your way through the game.
Yeah, welcome back to my nightmares.
But anyway, while I was searching for I want to see a video of someone beating Ryu, just destroying him in Street Fighter Championship Edition Arcade, I found this video on YouTube. I know none of you have seen this because it has so few views. It is some dude who is reminiscing about playing this game, and he's playing it, and he beats Ryu. But the things he said, it's like this is like some glorious video that is completely hidden on the internet that no one knows. It has maybe tens
wow.
of views.
It has 21 views and 1 like, which I assume is you.
Yeah, that's my like right there. This video is worth watching. I don't know what's up with this undiscovered guy. I didn't even look to see if there's other videos posted on his channel.
So this was published recently.
But if he does, I want to watch them.
Here are some random fights in Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition Arcade. This is the classic fighting game. Well, there's a lot of description here. Here's my flicker. Here's my... All right, I guess he's a photographer.
Yeah, but I don't even know who this guy is, but you just have to watch this and listen to him.
Alexander Snay. And look, here's a bunch of black and white pictures he took.
Alexander,
did he link his Tinder? Important questions there.
Let's see. Flickr, another photography. No.
Oh,
whatever,
wow.
but we'll watch this after the show is over, and you'll see the glory that this man has made
I'm into
in his
this.
YouTube video.
In the Med Moment, the book club book is still Fantasy Book Volume 1.
I've read much more of it.
You're probably ahead of me now because I left off when they were in the town after they landed from the ship being stupid again.
Yeah, I'm a little after that.
Are they still being stupid?
They left that town.
Are all the kids still alive?
Yeah.
I wish just one or two of them would not make it.
I think the dark times are coming soon.
But I
The
have
the wolf sent something.
I suspect and I worry that the characters I like the least are the ones who are in the most pages of the Wheel of Time.
There are so many pages, though. I assume that they'll make newer characters who you may like or hate more or less.
But I pretty much only like adults and hate children so far in these books. I don't know if that says anything about the books or about me.
I have to agree with that. Anyway,
Also, we are going to be live at PAX Prime on
the
Sunday.
real PAX.
Yeah, the far future of
the
gaming.
one true gaming con.
All roads lead to Rome. Rome
the
being PAX
mecca
Prime.
of nerds.
Yeah. So Sunday, far future of gaming. Monday, sports are games, which is getting increasingly topical, what with the doping scandal in video game tournaments lately. And then on Wednesday in Portland, I'm giving a lecture, not Geeknights, just me, on UX in video games at Kaifu in Portland,
Okay.
the Computer Human Interaction Forum of Oregon.
I'm sure so many people will show up there. It sounds like such a hot place.
Apparently, a lot of people go to this thing. Like Mike Salenker lectured not too long ago.
I don't
and
know who that is,
A bunch of PAX Dev people were there. So
Okay.
apparently, someone from PAX Dev knew us and saw me lecture at another PAX and nominated me to be a lecturer here. So that's how that happened, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
So yeah, we got Conrad Kreyling here in the studio. If you didn't notice.
Oh yeah, hi everybody. My name is Conrad Kreyling.
Conrad, you have been here before, but I wonder how many people listening know who you are.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Maybe you should introduct yourself
Yeah.
to save me the trouble.
So, hey everybody. I'm Conrad Kreyling. I've been on the show a couple times. You might remember me from my last appearance on this show, where I gave a rough estimate as to the number of times that I've masturbated in my entire life.
Oh yeah.
The number has gone up.
I
Just
know.
let me quell any doubts.
The question is not whether or not it went up, but what the diff is. Like you got to measure that like a counter.
Why are we venturing into this territory? Let us talk about something else.
Yeah. So
Also, I don't remember that at all.
I remember it vividly. I was in this very chair. So currently I'm working as the founder and lead engineer at my little visual novel company, Date Nighto.
That's a big step up from just working.
Yeah, it's not bad. You mentioned that you were going to be live at PAX. One of our people is actually going to be there, our product manager, Joe Fu.
In fact, actually, because Joe is on the panel, I realized this is like the first time ever I've put together a PAX panel that isn't 5 to 6 white dudes. There are 3 ladies and 3 men on this panel. I'm kind of amazed.
I mean, I'm obviously very happy at Date Nighto. The idea that we can put work by creators of color and women forward is like a big part of our mission statement. It's a big part of what we want to do. So thank you so much for helping us to make that happen.
Thing is, for years, like before Date Nighto, I pretty much submitted panels with your name on them to conventions for years without telling you.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that I had such difficulty getting out there. I'm really excited about this year, though. Even just being in the audience and having somebody from Date Nighto be on stage, it's gonna be dope. I'm excited.
We'll see how many people show up.
I don't know. That's the kind of provocative title that the problem is. So Emily,
I've never had a PAX panel with a bad turnout, though. Every time I think it's gonna be a bad turnout, I get at least like 50% fillage. In
I know.
the
Weren't
room.
we like early morning on Sunday at one point? And
That's
the room's
usually a
filled?
good time.
Yeah. The only bad time I think is during the Omegathon itself.
Well, our Monday is they gave this to us last year too. Our panel Monday at the very end of the con, we got to run to the Omegathon. It's like,
But-
I don't even know if I want to run this year.
Well, we can do our joke that we do every year of admonishing the people in the audience for seeing us instead of the Omegathon.
Well, that's definitely gonna happen. That is definitely gonna happen.
So, Conrad, how's this thing going? I mean, you're making dating games, and I guess some of them actually came out.
Yeah, do you make money doing that?
Yeah, well, obviously we ran the Starfighter Eclipse Kickstarter, which pulled in, I believe, a little over $150,000. So
that is
was,
a lot of money.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not millions, but that is way more monies than I have.
Yeah, it was a rip-roaring start, and we're still working on fulfillment for that game. In some ways, we're doing the translations right now. We did get the
nice.
art book out as well as the soundtrack, so we're really excited about that. The soundtrack is available on Bandcamp.
How many languages are you translating?
So it's 5.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 5, and I actually just sent the contract out for our Russian translator, so I'm really excited.
Russian.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a really big market for Starfighter, so yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer. for the
Awesome.
project. But yeah, so that actually shipped in May on DateNighto.com. It's our first title on under our own power and on our own publishing platform. You just go to the website, you play the game. There's like no downloads. You just buy it and play it. It's it worked even better. Like, obviously, like, it's my company and like I made the game, but it worked even better than like I had imagined. Like, it was so cool being able to just go there and do it. We actually have another game coming out in early to mid-September called We Know the Devil. This is a collaboration work with AVB of the publication Zeal. We're really excited about it. I just implemented the UI for that today. It looks dope. That's in collaboration with Mia Schwartz. She's doing the artwork, and like, Mia's a buddy of mine anyway, so I couldn't be more excited about that. And then next year, February, we've got Hustle Cat, our next title about magical boys and girls working in the cat cafe.
Who doesn't like that? I mean, if that Hatful Boyfriend pigeon dating game came out, right? I mean, that's like 10 times better.
I'm actually going to leak something. This will be a Geeknights exclusive for
Oh,
you
so
guys.
many people are listening and
I
caring.
know.
The listener is going to appreciate this a lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too. Audra Furuichi of Nemu Nemu is actually doing the cat sprites for us on Hustle Cat. That just happened. She's doing the designs. I'm so excited.
So these are going to
Cat
be like,
sprites are definitely the most important.
Yeah, right?
well, they've got to be real accurate or people are going to be really mad.
Well, they at least have to be real cute. That's really all I'm looking for is real
Cutely
cute.
accurate.
But yeah, we're actually in talks about doing a Kickstarter for that. We think we're going to give crowdfunding a shot on that. So
I mean, if the other one made 150, why wouldn't you do it again?
yeah, I will say that I think this is an interesting new challenge for us, because rather than being able to leverage an existing and, let's face it, really popular property like Hamlet Machine's Starfighter, we are kind of driving under our own power now. We kind of have to go in front of everybody and say, this is an idea that we had. We can make games. We did it. You can go to the website and buy it. Give us some money, we'll make another one.
Of course, look how well that worked with like multiple Japanese game designers recent history who had a history of making good things and then just kind of struck out on their own for various reasons.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Weird. It's like a bunch of news came out recently about this. Huh. Odd. Anyway.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the news,
I mean-
the revelations about all the game designers and composers who are literally being janitors for a certain unnamed game company. But
But I mean, visual novels are hot lately, right? I mean, having a property to go along with it seems to help. But if you look on Steam, it's like that Long Live the Queen game seems to have done really well. I mean, I bought that, right? And there was
we were playing that at New Year's.
Yeah, it's like, there's definitely a market for any kind of visual novel in the U.S., regardless of, what's in it.
Well, and I think there's actually the opportunity there, I believe, is bigger than we expect, because I do think that the mode of presentation is accessible in a way that a lot of games maybe aren't. So even with BioWare's efforts in Mass Effect 3 to allow you to bypass the action sequences and just get to the story and the narrative, you still had a lot of, like, let's face it, relatively complicated controls for a certain set of users in a 3D space and in a 3D world that was a barrier to entry to that narrative. And,
Also, the price.
And the price, yeah. Obviously, like, we don't have like GameStop, we don't have EA. We have significantly lower overhead.
Yeah, and the equipment that you need to play it, right? You need either some kind of newish console or a PC that doesn't suck.
Yeah, or a good PC. And in our case, like,
You can play your games on just like your phone, right?
Yeah. It's all on the web, so it works with anything above Android 4.0. You've got iOS 8 and above. I actually have a Chromebook for testing.
An iPad's probably really good to play it on, right?
It is actually. It looks beautiful.
I'm holding on
Do
to
you
this
have
forever.
Retina level resolution graphics? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. We actually bake 2 sets of assets for anything in the game. One for high DPI displays and one for low
Nice.
DPI.
Very nice.
So what's interesting is that these, like, the visual novels in general, like, they got really big, but it seems like the ones that are getting the most traction that people talk, like Hot Tub Boyfriend is an example. It's like the ones that are almost a joke, but like I played through that game. It's not actually a great game. It's just a great concept. Like, it's funny to know that it exists, but it's not actually that fun to read it.
So I have to admit something. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
So I will say
I played it for like a minute.
it just came out on Vita, which improves its odds like by about 1,000. Because the only time I ever get to play games now is when I'm a train or a bus or something.
Wait, you have a Vita?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bought it to play Danganronpa and
I've heard
Persona
that.
4 Golden. So obviously, like, those are they're a little more gamey, Persona 4, definitely. Danganronpa, pretty much. They're a little more gamey, let's say, but at the same time, they present this really strong narrative in a format that's really familiar to us. So,
Yeah, well, I remember like when even like Emily and a lot of people, they really want to play Mass Effect and all these games because the stories. And then when I see them play Mass Effect 1, I'm just waiting for this game sucks.
Mass Effect 1 was bad.
Yeah,
I think
unplayably bad.
Yeah, well, I beat it. So for
I
me,
could
it wasn't
not.
unplayable.
I did not care enough about that game. I realized I could just watch the story on YouTube, and it's not even that long.
Yeah, and I don't think you're the only person to say that. And so it's interesting because you're coming at this from, and I will use this term here. You're kind of a hardcore gamer.
Yeah,
you know what you're doing. You know how to use game pretty good. So imagine coming at it from a completely different perspective.
Well, I guess what I don't like are games that have like a really hard game component like this thing, and then completely orthogonal to that, here's the story that will continue. And if you care about one or the other, then they don't really intersect at all.
Yeah, and personally, I think one of the strengths of what we're doing is that we have shed a lot of that baggage, I think, is the way that I'll put it. I mean, we all played Mass Effect 1. We all remember driving the Mako or the Mako. That was not a fun part of that game. Dice rolls for aiming and shooting in a third-person title? Please. Please.
Of course, remember even Half-Life 1, like the vehicles weren't great, actually.
Half-Life 1? Yeah, I don't know. Jeepathon was good times.
Jeepathon was good times. It was not good.
Anyway, so your Date Nighto games, they're mostly sort of just, the straight up choose your own adventure path. There's not a lot of, game going on at all. But I mean, do you think you can do, if you wanted, like the more, simulation added
like a
ones?
stat builder?
Yeah, like
Tokimeki Memorial, for
like
example.
a Tokimeki, right? You got to go to school. Do I study?
Scott's just gunning for another Tokimeki game.
Well, I can't read the ones that exist, so I need something.
Yeah, there's the system itself is very flexible. There's nothing stopping us from doing that. Personally, like I have spent my time in stat builders, man. I spent my time in the stat mines, and so personally, I'm not as excited about that game mode. Technically, though, there's nothing stopping us, and who knows if a creator came to me and said, "I have this really great game. It's a stat builder. Here's the pitch," and it was awesome, I'd be like, yeah, definitely, like, get on board, let's build it. But it's not something that I'm like fired up about at
Well, I
this
guess
very
just
second.
design and QA is a lot harder. Like a lot of those I've played, because I played them most like a lot longer ago, like not anytime recently. Like especially like Tokimekis and things, like those simple dating games. There's like it's just a threshold of did you get to a threshold to trigger this thing? So a lot of your decisions don't actually matter.
Right, well, I noticed
much.
that more with like Long Live the Queen, right? That's literally like, did you get this stat up to this % by this day? If so, this happens. Otherwise, this happens. So it's really just a choose your own adventure where the choices are obscured. But Tokimeki, like, it was a PlayStation 1 game, but I mean, this might just be my
SNES game.
It really blew up on the PlayStation. I remember the technology, at least back then, being so insane. Like, it could read, it did text to speech of your name.
Oh yeah, in the PlayStation 1, you type your name in. I remember our name was
right, and it's just like it seemed like it wasn't doing what Long Live the Queen did, even though it might have been under the hood. It seemed a lot more natural, in terms of like I went to school. And it's like, oh, if you went to school more often, then you would get better grades. And, the girl who cared about school would be more likely to go out with you. And as opposed to these things, there were things that happened on specific days, but there were so many days in the school year. As I think, other games like, Long of the Queen's like 40 days long or something like that, 50 days, and that's it. Tokimeki is 3 years of Japanese high school.
Yeah.
Plus summer.
If I remember, though, there was a random component to that game. You could choose to study, but maybe it wasn't a success. I remember very distinctly.
Yeah. Whenever you chose one of the things, it would be like, it would show the drawing and then like circle or X, like you succeeded or failed at the study.
And being at the will of a random number generator, man, there's nothing that's going to turn me off from a game more quickly. Like,
but at the same
holding my breath, like, oh, did he study right this time? You didn't. You did it bad.
But imagine the counterpoint of not the Dwarf Fortress of if the more emergent the gameplay is, like if the randomness causes unintended or unexpected, or at least unexpected to the player things to happen, then there's this, it adds like this additional layer of discovery. It's more like an evolving story than, well, I followed this path to the end. I'm going to try to follow this other very specific path.
And see, I'll totally get on board with that, but I think, at least my experience when I played Toki Memo on the SNES, it was, come on, green hair girl, come on, green hair girl. No, I did track so bad that she doesn't like me anymore. How about you, other green hair girl? You're in the library. You're anemic. You want to go to the park? She didn't. She did not want to go to the park.
Better restart the game.
Yeah, better restart the game.
Better luck next time.
So when you talk about like emergent behavior like that, I love that. But the failure state for me in Toki Memo was kind of like, well, I'm sad and alone.
Well, I've been thinking about this a lot, partly because that Far Future Games panel, like I found the slides from when I did a similar thing at MagFest. And also we had all those panels about Dwarf Fortress. And there's this critical mass, like this threshold where there's enough emergent behavior and bushiness to where it feels like discovery and the randomness feels like the effectively infinite content. But anything less than that feels like the game just fucked you. And anything more than that feels like actual Dwarf Fortress.
You can lean into it too. So Joe, actually, one of her first games was a Game Jam game for Valentine's Day, and it was essentially you paired up with literally random women at a bar who had literally random backstories and said literally random things when you broke up. And some of the dialogue we got out of that was heartbreaking.
So did you wait? So it was literally like you didn't fill a database with text and,
we
and
did.
randomly choose?
Yeah, we filled
okay.
the database with text.
So I guess
And-
she's not saying like question
Yeah,
mark
it was-
exclamation point
right.
Unicode.
No, but it would, you would end up being paired with a woman. You would meet a woman at a bar who turned out to be like a puff of smoke. And then the breakup line was, she's gone like the wind. And that was just like, that was random. But at the same time, we're like,
Oh.
So I noticed this like a few months ago, but Explosm actually, Cyanide and Happiness, they have a random, like, every webcomic has a random comic, right? Like click for a random one. Theirs actually generates a random comic of 3 panels.
Whoa.
It is almost nothing but comedy gold.
does it do that from transcripts?
Well, basically, it looks like he made like thousands of individual panels, and it just picks 3 of them.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it seeds it, so you can actually go find one that you found before if it was actually like particularly noteworthy.
Yeah, that does seem to be a thing about visual novels is that, if you have the randomness, the failure state does suck because it's like I spent a lot of time on this and got nowhere, but you lose like the replay value, right? Like if I play a Date Nighto game and I see every ending, I'm sort of done.
Well, if you read a book,
Sure, I guess that's the case. Yes.
I was thinking about this a lot. They're like this middle ground between just a book and like just a simulator.
But like a Dwarf Fortress, it can't end. You can always play it again.
Well, it's kind
If
of
you
like,
can play it one time.
I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. And in the same way that some games will, I think, attempt to provide value by banking on the RNG and giving you this emergent gameplay, our games bank on the fact that there's a lot of words and pretty pictures, and you're going to look at them all. At least I hope you do. So, so there's that. Oh man.
Well, think about the RNG. Like a game like FTL, Faster Than Light, leans on that. Like that's the game.
Yeah.
And you get these like the end always sucks when you lose, and usually you lose. But
I definitely always
because it's heavy on the gameplay, the emergent stuff, it doesn't feel unsatisfying to die. But if you're playing a dating game and their RNG is just, no girls date you, that just feels really unsatisfying. It's not like there's 1,000 different Shadowgate ways that you physically die because they didn't date you. Then maybe it'd be interesting again.
Yeah, wait, I want to make this game like
Shadow date.
Oh, we're getting somewhere.
I would play the hell out
I would
of
play
that.
the hell out of that.
smoking Tinder.
Torch, will you go out
Use
with
torch on girl.
No, don't do that. That's bad. I'm not interested in this game anymore.
me? This Wraith is coming on to you.
Wait, hold up. You're winning me over.
So is that Xeno technically? Or what is that?
I don't know.
Ashy.
So what is it like on a like personal level having like for real founded a game studio? Because the one thing Scott and I have never done is actually given up on our day jobs to go after the things we care about. Like I
am so risk averse.
like I still work for rich people.
Like I would
protecting their
totally
money.
do that. You know how many ideas I have, but I am very afraid of being homeless. So it's not a thing that I do.
Well, it's interesting. So towards the end of my college career, I went to I promise this is relevant. I went to a...
Doesn't matter if it isn't.
I jerked off yesterday. I went to a private school. My family's financial situation changed. I basically got kicked out because I didn't have enough money. And to stay in school, I subsidized that by doing freelance web development. So I've been doing freelance web development since I was like 21 or 22. And then after I graduated, I had all these professional contacts from doing it. So I kind of
Didn't you also like work at AMD and stuff because you were way smarter than me?
Well, yeah, I did an internship there and I did pretty okay. But, once I graduated, while a lot of people were getting these like W-2 yearly salaries, I just kept doing freelance because I had all these professional contacts. So I got very used to this like invoice payment cycle and feast and famine. And it sort of normalized risk for me in a way that I don't think it was normalized for a lot of people. So for me, transitioning from my previous job, which was like a normal W-2 salary position, to Date Nighto, which is, it turns out owning a company and having a company is very different than being a freelancer because you don't get to invoice anybody. It is scary sometimes, and our co-founder Lindsay Woods, of course, is a full-time employee. So, instead of, just invoicing people, I'm actually cutting paychecks.
You're being invoiced.
Yeah, being actively invoiced. And, Joe, of course, and Mike was on board. So these, all of these things are happening and it's scary. But at the same time, I think I'm well suited to it. Like, to me, it's very exciting. And you guys have known me for a while. You know that I've got that unfortunate personality situation where it's like I will invest like 100 hours a week into something just because I didn't like the way this worked or because this needed to be just a little better before it launched. So the confluence and the nexus of those two things, I think, were really, really beneficial to me in that regard. It's been nothing but a blast for me.
So how about specifically doing it is being in New York City a net positive or a net negative in regard to this?
This has been somewhat of a topic of discussion.
Because
it's expensive, but there's so much peoples here and talents and monies, but also costing monies.
You hit the nail right on the head. Is the nexus of talent that's present in the immediate vicinity, a 10-mile radius that I can bike to, like at the drop of a hat. The fact that I could literally say to Hamlet Machine of Starfighter, hey, I'm going to come up there. We're going to work tonight. I'll just crash with you. That's cool. That's fine. It wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't this big investment of time. When Lindsay Woods quit her job, I was like, hey, just come work for me instead. Like,
other than
my company.
Other than Joe, everyone on that Far Future of Gaming panel lives here.
Yeah, and we're that situation might be changing too, and so the nexus of talent present in New York, it's something I've been balancing very carefully recently. At this time, I think it's fair to say that there is value in being in New York, outstripping that of the kind of incredible cost of living. Like real estate prices aren't going down here, y'all.
I'm even looking at a backup plan of going back upstate.
It's flat.
Yeah.
We're in some of the few remaining rent stabilized buildings here.
Yeah, I just spent the last 3 weeks in Northern Virginia, so
Whoa.
and it was gorgeous. Like, I won't play, it was gorgeous, but at the moment, I think it's safe to say that New York is our home. This is where we were founded. This is where our core is, and it's where we're gonna be.
Because I ran into something interesting. So I went to the kind of party that I'm usually not invited to. So I was basically at an event with like all the VCs, like the investors, like the top of that food chain, and they were doing presentations. There's all this stuff, and what
1% evil people.
Yeah. Some of them might be listening. You never know, but we'll just say that I was in one of these events. And what I learned is that they look at New York as a place to start a company because all the smart people are here, but they want the company to move to California when they then want to pump it up, get more investment, and flip it.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Well, it's obviously not for cost saving.
It is actually in their perspective. They want to be out there because that's where they can get more investment because salaries are lower. There's this, we used to always say on Geeknights, we had this perception that the difference between an East Coast and a West Coast startup is that in the East Coast, I'll work for a startup if they pay me money. But on the West Coast, people will work for basically dreams and lottery tickets.
Equity.
Yeah. And the talented people in New York are a lot more like business oriented in terms of let's make the thing. So it seems like those people are actually better at getting things working quickly. But when they want to expand the company, they can pay a lot of people in lottery tickets and actually cost a lot less money to like triple your headcount on the West Coast. because a lot of those people are kind of semi-independently wealthy. They have money from the last company that was a lottery ticket. It was just a weird conversation to be having with all these really, really, really rich people.
If they're so rich, why aren't they on the beach? What the hell?
Yeah, as soon as I have enough money to be on the beach, I'm either on the beach or making my own game studio.
Yeah, hey, if they're
On the
looking for
beach.
investment opportunities, man, do I have some good news for them. That does surprise me. I won't lie. Although I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. I've been kind of putting the feelers out for engineers out here. Engineers out here are relatively hard to hire. That has been my experience.
Oh, everything's hard to hire. Like recruiters talk to me like direct, and I basically tell them, nah, not really interested.
I'll work for you, Conrad. I work 4 days a week, and you have to pay me a lot of money. How's that sound?
Yeah, see, welcome to New York. So, yeah, but that's fair. I don't know what our future holds in that regard at the moment, but
well, there is. Emily told me about it. Apparently, there's a move for New York City. Might be the state too. I'm not sure. I gotta ask Emily about it. But there might be a big tax credit thing coming just for small, semi-independent video game studios in New York.
Yeah, but how about that startup NYC thing was bullshit, so why would this not be bullshit?
Yeah, it was super bullshit, by the way. Definitely bullshit.
Right? So why wouldn't this also be bullshit?
You never know.
You never know.
I didn't write. Emily told me about it. I have not yet done any investigation into it.
Yeah, given Albany. Oh man,
Oh,
hi,
don't
what's
get
up?
me started.
I'm from upstate New York, so let me get super mad right now. But yeah, when it comes to Albany and New York state tax code, it's just all bets are off. That shit is out the window.
And the worst thing is, our last best hope for peace was Zephyr Teach Out, and now she's running that super PAC instead. I don't think she's gonna run for governor again.
No, I don't think so either. Oh well.
Well, that will make me leave New York.
Let's talk about other games.
Yeah, what have you been playing lately?
Oh man,
Anything?
Yeah,
You gotta still be
Are
playing
you playing
games.
anything?
I did just beat Danganronpa 1 and 2.
Oh right, you just
So I
talked about
mentioned
that.
this, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with this game at all?
It's a title that I've heard of, but I've never played it.
Yeah, that whole same thing with Persona. Those are games that I know about primarily from Let's Plays making fun of them.
I know the names of them, and I know sort of what they look like.
I hate to be that pitch guy who says, "Oh, it's like Uber meets Fresh Direct," but in this case, it is kind of like Battle Royale meets Phoenix Wright.
No,
So
that sounds
it's a
interesting.
Phoenix Wright high school murder simulator with this. Most importantly, it's got this incredibly bold visual style that.
How does
I
it
fell in
play?
love
Does
with.
it play like a 999 or?
It actually plays more like a Phoenix Wright. The parallels actually go pretty deep. So there are murders and there are investigations and there are trials.
Oh.
And there are actually more gamified elements in the trials than a Phoenix Wright. The first game I thought was significantly tighter in this regard.
Do you have to do like a rhythm-based objection or something?
You are 100% correct.
What?
Yes, yes, you do. That is absolutely correct.
That's crazy.
And the my favorite of the mini games is the one where you have to drag comic panels into an incomplete comic to create the murder. That's my favorite.
That's actually pretty interesting. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I thought the first game did a way better job.
And
in
like
this
it
regard
makes
than the
it
second.
still makes sense when you put it in the other orders, but it's wrong.
Yeah. It might not make sense. So you could just put the wrong tile in the wrong space.
Obviously, yeah, but
it's
it's not trivially easy if you're not cheating. Or
Wow,
looking
a
it up.
resurrection knife. This isn't even a murder.
Why didn't we use this before? 7 of our classmates are dead. But I love this style. The story of the first game really got me. I'm still chewing through the second one. I will say that a lot of people I know really loved it. I'm still working on it. We'll I finished it, but I'm still kind of integrating it. So we'll see how I end up on that one. But
Is that it? That's your games?
yeah, I beat Persona. I dabbled in Final Fantasy 14 briefly because there
Is it
seemed
the
to be this
online one?
Yeah. There was
Oh,
this
okay.
kind of resurgence, and I had this hot cat boy named
What
Catface
else would you
Meowmers.
pick? I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
right. Come
Yeah.
on, I had the opportunity to be a hot cat boy. So that was there for a bit, but I don't think I have the time right now to do MMOs. It turns out, big surprise.
Yeah, the thing is, I have almost infinite free time, and I don't have time for MMOs. I learned my lesson with The Realm in 1997.
Man, I played more World of Warcraft than I probably should have back in college. I'll say that.
But that was your first
I am
one, right?
thankful to the
Yeah.
MUDs of the 90s for protecting me from the 3D MUDs of the 2000s.
Yeah, you didn't get your immunization. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I saw World of Warcraft, and I'm like, I've been there, done that.
You
not
guys are a little
playing.
older than me, right?
Well, like
A
2
little
years.
bit. 2-3 years.
No, I saw a picture of you the other day. I was cleaning up my like photos, and I have a picture of you from back in the air, like at RIT, like standing in front of the anime club. You look like you're like 6.
Was he wearing an orange safety cone?
You were, yeah. That was the orange safety cone.
That was wearing a Naruto costume?
Yep. That was that day.
Still one of my proudest stage moments, man. Thank you for bringing that back.
Apparently RIT anime is still going strong too. Like I ran.
Yeah,
into
we saw those people at Kineticon and also Anime Boston. So
Whoa, hey, well,
not the old people from back in the day. Like the current RIT Anime Club came.
There's a little like there's weird like genetic memory of us.
that's amazing, man. So you guys asked me what games I'm playing. I gave you the good answer. Now I have to give you the bad answer.
Uh-oh.
All right, so this one's a 2-parter.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. Fruits of Grisaya came out on Steam.
I don't know what that is at all.
Oh man, Scott, I have good news for you. Well, it's
Okay.
bad news. It is a 500,000-word visual novel that was initially a.
Well,
Well,
I guess I don't have to worry about the replay value.
I typed
Yeah.
fruits, and it recommended that immediately before I typed of.
All right, so what's it about?
So you play as the worst person in the world who rolls into this town and is like obviously connected somehow with like the Japanese military, and you're immediately arrested, and then you are sent to this school where there are only you have 4 classmates, all of whom are romance options, and a principal who
Wait, there's
may be a
5
romance
girls
option.
on the
Is it
cover.
porny or not?
Oh, it's super. Well, not the Steam version. Oh, is it 5? Did I get the number wrong? It is 5.
This is an adult visual novel.
It is
and
super adult.
But it has that many words in it?
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, I don't know. Are you familiar with Muv-Love?
No.
Oh,
Wait, this
man.
many words. I feel like this is going to be
So
like.
apparently you've done, being a creator of visual novels, you seem to have done a lot of research on
Oh my God.
what is available out there.
Let me give it just an actual shout out right now to the writer of Hustle Cat, Casey Van Heist, for digging into Muv-Love. She got further in that game than I thought humanly possible. I'll put it to you like this. The creator of Attack on Titan actually went out of his way to say like, hey, I really loved Muv-Love. Like it was a lot of that in that scenario that I really enjoyed.
Maybe if you were not playing that and learning to draw better, that would be helpful.
Well, hey, he because of it works for the body horror thing. But
Sure.
So Muv-Love,
well, that character design is some body horror here.
oh man, the Muv-Love character designs are rough. Let me tell you.
It reminds me of old Saver Marionette J crossed with like, I don't know, MKR.
I do always like the hairs that come forward, like where there should be sideburns, but they're long
Well,
hairs.
because she looks like that Tokimeki girl, the one that you always went
I don't know
after.
why I always
Oh,
like
yeah.
that for some reason.
So this game starts off as a normal high school romance simulator, and it's a normal visual novel, and there's 2 romance or 5 or 4 romance options.
Someone translated these things?
No,
Even
I
the
don't
one
know.
with hundreds of thousands of words or
This is the
whatever?
one with hundreds of thousands of words also. This one also has it. And this was a fan translation. So you play this normal high school romance, and then you beat it with these 2 romance options, and then the game restarts into this ruined world where you're a mech pilot, and all the women have to wear suits that show their boobies off. And by that I mean there's glass panes on their boobies.
Well, if it didn't have the booby part, I definitely want to play the game where the world is ruined and you're a mech pilot.
Okay, well, so yeah, no, me too. For what it's worth, we were like, okay, we just have to get through. It's called Muv-Love Extra is the opening sequence, and then Muv-Love
Mabu Ravu.
Muv-Love Alternative for the back half ruined world part. And we were actually kind of excited about this because we were all reading Attack on Titan at the time, and Hajime Isayama was like, yeah, this was kind of I don't know if he said inspiration, but he definitely mentioned it
Oh,
in
the
the
ruined
context of
world
his work.
part? Okay, I
yeah,
got you,
yeah.
yeah.
And so we were like, yeah, okay. And then we started playing it as like, oh, actually part of what Hajime Isayama? Is that his name? I might be
I
screwing
think
his name
so.
up. I'm
It
so
sounds
sorry.
right to me.
So part of what I think he took away from this was the intense jingoism and like remilitarization of Japan, and like it got mega uncomfortable in there for a second because we were playing this right about the time when Mr. Isayama took all that heat for saying that stuff about Korea.
Yep.
So for
Well, I
us,
mean, aren't the
Him and the
otakus in
Greater East
Japan who
Asia
are playing these?
Prosperity Sphere.
Aren't the otakus who play these things in Japan usually also military fanboys? So isn't it just like that's the audience?
I mean, there is a show now where young girls turn into battleships. So according
That's
to the
not a
market,
new
you're
genre.
correct. It's not.
No.
no. Didn't you see the airplane one too?
No.
Yeah, there's plenty of these things.
I wanted to believe this was a new phenomenon.
No. I mean, I
No.
guess it's new relative to the history of the universe.
I don't know what the first one was.
That's a good question. Katsu would know.
Katsu would
Katsu
definitely
would
know.
So this is Muv-Love, and then the game I'm playing is Fruits of Grisaya, which smells weirdly like it. It's been rough, guys. Okay, more Geeknights exclusives, some deep insider tips. I run a Twitter by the handle Fuck Game Tweets, and I started taking screenshots of this game and putting them next to the Steam review quotes.
So my one small anecdote is way back. I was with a bunch of like business contact people I was in Singapore at the time at a party on the roof of a fancy hotel. And we're hanging out and people are talking. No one gives a shit about the finance stuff. They're all asking me about the video game stuff. Like, oh my God, you go to PAX? Like, And we start talking
You
about.
go to PAX too. Look how much money you have. You can go.
But I was like, you lecture at PAX? Get me a job in the game industry. I hate Wall Street. Like, that's.
You have so much money you want to work in.
It's like,
game
Date
industry?
Nighto, making visual novels. And there's a beat where I always pause because I expect these people to be like, what's a visual novel? And I'm like, already know what I'm going to say. And the guy I'm talking to, without skipping a beat, doesn't say what's a visual novel. He says, oh, those Asian fuck games. Cool.
And he was right about our first title. That is true. Those boys in space are definitely just cramming.
You know, I like Starfighter, but also I'm just going to say that relationship is not 100% healthy. Like there's a little bit of that relationship has got some issues.
Every sexual encounter in Starfighter Eclipse is overtly consensual, and we actually made sure of this in a copy editing pass. This was part of our copy editing process. Yeah, it was to make sure that every sexual encounter was explicitly consensual. And
I was just saying that perhaps
I'm guessing that's. Are you saying that it's not the case in Muv-Love?
I didn't play enough Muv-Love. In Grisaya, there is at least a character that would definitely get you put into big boy jail for romancing. And
I wasn't going to play this, but now I'm double not going to play this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I had that problem. I played this Overdrive game called Edelweiss, and I basically beat this game. I got all the roots, except for the character who looked super young, and I was like, I can't finish this game. Sorry, bye. That was the game. That was actually the game that I broke by trying to go the platonic route. I didn't accept anybody's advances, and then the game crashed.
It actually crashed?
It just straight up crashed, and I reproduced the bug. I was like, yes! I friend-zoned an eroge. Yes!
You know, if you open that bug ticket, like, they wouldn't understand.
I don't know if that might have been by their previous company, Groover. So, hi, what's up? I'm a font of visual novel knowledge. Come at me. Anyway, I've been playing this game, which has been really, really sad.
Though, I can't fault you because, one, it's legit research, and two,
I mean, if my job was to make these things, I'd have to suffer through them.
It raised $500,000 on Kickstarter.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, we've played a lot of Kickstarted board games, and all I will say is that sometimes I'll get an email. In fact, recently we got an email from a pretty big name game developer who didn't like that we'd played his game and talked about it the way that we talked about it because we were kind of down on it. Right. We played a lot of bad games.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Like, come to your house and be like, hey, stop talking about our game. Like, you can't do that.
It's like maybe make a better game next time.
Yeah.
But lately, the thing I've been watching a lot on YouTube is Retsupres. You know about Retsupre?
I mean, it sounds like you're saying let's play, but wrong.
So what they do is they watch other people's Let's Plays and they just make fun of them. And this concept sounds really mean-spirited. It kind of is.
It sounds like it, yeah.
And yeah, I learned a lot about what it means to be a human watching those things. The best one ever is just titled Mario Party of One.
All right, where they watch the guy play Mario Party by himself.
No, what are you doing in there, Johnny? Nothing, just me and my 4 friends. Or my 3 friends. Calm. We're just having a big old Mario Party. And the worst part is the kid loses to the AI, like, kind of often.
He got too many stars.
At one point, Princess Peach, like, runs way past him with a mushroom, and then he just like, she's running away from me. Just like all the girls do. And then he just gets quiet for, like, a minute.
Man. This guy's got to work on his radio voice.
He's playing too much Muv-Love.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez, why does everybody around me keep dying? I hate this game. I don't want to remilitarize Japan. Yeah, so
I want to remilitarize Japan to kill the people who made Mario Party.
So I've been playing Grisaya, which has been a slog. But guys, I fell into the trap. I've been playing Love Live. School Idol Festival,
I've heard
Love
of that.
Live. I've been playing it. I've been playing it a lot. it's been troublesome.
At least you're not stagnating because I still only pretty much play like Counter-Strike, Civ 5. Like,
I mean, I'm playing Hearthstone and Netrunner, and I just started playing a cookie clicker variant called.
why?
It was on Steam yesterday.
Yeah, it's a good reason.
I saw people who were
It's not.
all these people in my it kept saying that like people were playing this game, in my Steam friends, and it was called like Capitalist something, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I see it's free to play, so I click play, and it's just a cookie clicker candy box, but it's really slick. So I'm like, oh, okay, and it runs while like it's closed.
It's refined heroin.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, oh, what if?
I mean, that is for what it's worth. Refined heroin is how I would describe my time with Love Live. They limit you have like it's that classic concept that gets me every goddamn time. They give you a fixed amount of energy. They say you want to play a hard song, you got to provide 15 love points.
Yep.
And I only have 40, but man,
pay
I'm so
some
close
real
to my
money?
next level. I paid $1.
Okay.
I'd say it.
You,
I say it
you
with a
broke
heavy
a
heart.
seal,
I mean, I've
but
paid-
you didn't go past so far.
I bought both Hearthstone Adventure expansions, which cost a lot more than $1.
I needed one love gem to collect my 11 rare card. I was like, I'm not gonna wait. I could have waited 3 hours.
It's surprising like how I've been hooked on so many of those over time, but I've managed to just drop all of them. And then, like I played the one where you grow the mola fish.
Oh
Mola
yeah.
mola.
Right. I played that for like weeks, and then one day I just deleted it from my phone, and then it was deleted from my memory. Like I just didn't have any instinct to go and open it up or any memory of it or any care.
That's exactly what happened to me in Fallout Shelter. I
Yeah, same
literally
thing.
woke
I
up
also-
one morning and deleted it.
Exactly. Same thing with Fallout Shelter, and same thing with Dragon Coins, where it's just the coin pushing machine, where then you also fight with like an RPG style. It's weird.
Yeah, that game. Well, you showed me that game, and the whole time, all I asked you was, "Why are you playing this?"
And then I deleted it, and then I
Just
forgot
go
about
to the
it.
state fair and put quarters in that machine. It's the same thing.
At least
like
the
a
one at the
state fair
state
in your
fair
pocket.
gives you money. This one tries to take your money, and it gives you fake money in replacement.
yeah.
So more importantly, are you caught up on any animes, or are you watching Steven
Why are you
Universe?
talking about animes on Tuesday?
Okay, so I am
See
caught up
what's
with
up with
Steven
Conrad.
Universe. Me and Joe actually made sure to get nice and caught up. That was nice.
Yeah. Scott doesn't watch it yet. I'm just trying to pressure him into watching it so we can do a show on it.
That's it. I downloaded it.
It's
I
really
want to do
nice.
like Geeknights presents Steven Universe.
Well, I finish your Utena first.
I really enjoy it. As far as anime, we're watching Gatchaman Crowds right now.
Oh,
I heard
yeah.
about that. That looked interesting.
We reviewed it already.
Do I need to watch any other Gatchamon's anythings to watch that?
So I'm on the first season.
And how does it? Oh, the one. How does it relate to the old Gatchaman with the bird people?
That's
What's
a very
the,
good
What
question.
is the connection?
I have I did not know there was an original, betraying somewhat my ignorance here.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're watching Gatchaman Crowds. That's been great. Ori Monogatari is, I think, the sweetest show that has
Yes.
ever been produced.
That show. Oh
that
my
show
God.
gets so many points for the third episode when they resolve.
Why don't you make the visual
tension.
novel of that?
I would. Man, hey, put me in touch with somebody. Let's
No,
go.
just
I'm
do
there.
it. Who cares if they try to stop you? What are they gonna do about it?
See, once you have a company, these things become very complicated. It
Big
turns
deal.
out.
You just release that one on like BitTorrent. No one knows.
No one knows it was you. It's just
That's right.
And no one can pay, and then we don't eat.
You can get donations. Who knows?
well, you also make it crypto
Bitcoins.
ransomware.
Oh, cool,
Bitcoins.
cool. Did I tell you guys I cashed out all my Bitcoins for Magic cards?
What?
That's real.
Why would you get Magic? Wait, Bitcoins are like a new thing. That means you've played Magic this recently?
Yeah.
Why are you playing Magic?
Wait, did you
Accident.
buy them on Mount Gox?
I didn't. Okay, legitimate question. No, I bought them on abugames.com, the only retailer I could find. Basically, it was during that massive crash that happened in like January, I believe.
Oh, so you
And
should have held on to them if they were crashing.
Yeah, I
Wait, so when did you get Bitcoins?
late last year.
So recently?
Yeah,
Were you trying
yeah.
to buy drugs? What?
No,
Why would you buy Bitcoins?
I was legitimately just curious. So
just like how Bitcoins worked and stuff?
There is a
And-
tale of woe here because I mined out 2 full goddamn Bitcoins
You
in
actually
2012.
mined coins.
Straight
Wow.
up mined them on a
Remember-
friggin' GPU.
Yeah, there was a time you could just mine coins
Yeah,
on like
there
a consumer PC.
Oh, there was a time you could do it.
I
I
never
mined
even
out
tried.
2, and then they're gone now. I don't know where they live.
In
They're
some kind of wallet. Who knows?
yeah, in a wallet that I don't have access to and is
Right,
lost
that's
to
the
the
problem
void.
with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
One
no
of the
kidding,
problems with
right? Like,
Bitcoin.
okay, for real, can we talk about the money supply of Bitcoin super fast?
Sure, go nuts.
It does the money supply continue to shrink like that as dipshits like me lose their wallets?
Well, yes, but because they're so divisible, it probably doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Like, I don't think the inflation of them. I'm more worried about the integrity of the Bitcoin chain over time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Given like high profile investments by like the Winklevoss twins,
Yeah,
for
like
example.
if someone has a controlling interest in the blockchain,
And they already might.
yep, then they own Bitcoin.
Yeah, which is honestly like I had a couple that I didn't have a couple. I had a couple and lost them. I had some shreds Bitcoin dust, I guess you could say. I turned them into magic cards and I'm done.
So I'm on the committee in the FPL to basically figure out how to normalize Bitcoin and blockchain transactions in financial protocols. So like exchanges can like use them in stream.
How about you work on the confirmation time somehow? How about you get in touch with Mr. Satoshi?
Nah.
See what he can do for you, reducing that confirmation time. Because sorry. Hey, what's up? Never mind. I'm not going to turn this into Bitcoin cast.
Well, I guess we
Like-
know it's not Conrad Satoshi Kreyling.
Or
No,
it is,
'cause
and
I-
he's planting a red herring here right now.
No, because I understand how payments work. If I'm going to buy a fucking piece of gum, I can't wait 30 minutes to find out if I have the bitcoins for it. I need to be able to pay and leave the CVS.
But you could do that to buy, say, illegal merchandise that's being shipped to you in a dead drop.
All right.
Yeah,
so wait.
weird. Who
This
would
is
do
this
that?
is still Tuesday gaming, right? You're just talking about Magic cards. Why are you playing Magic? What's going on there?
Wait, what magic cards did you
Is this
buy?
1995?
Did you buy? Wait, were these individual magic cards or were they
Yeah,
boxes?
They
like
were
sets?
individuals.
Wait, what
So
cards
how,
did you buy?
How much Magic are you playing, and what decks are you playing?
Okay,
and-
so I unfortunately, this was during a time when I was doing some freelance work. I had disposable income, but I also had some, like time.
Well, you disposed of it all right.
Well, no, I disposed of bitcoins. It was very convenient. So we were playing, and I got some cards. I got them. I had a deck that was based around Zergo, Helm Smasher, namely because we were playing Commander, and I really liked the suit. I wanted to run a Goblin deck. He was an ogre, so I made this like green and nasty, except it was white, red, black. Yeah,
That's
white, red,
too many
black.
colors.
There's too many colors.
No. For Commander, you actually want a 3-color spread. 3-color spreads in Commander are totally valid.
Okay.
Wow, Magic's changed a lot since
Yeah.
I played it.
Yeah, rather than just doing the standard format where you have like 20 life and I forget what the optimal deck size is. We never play standard.
Well,
We
in
played
the old
60
days-
back in my day.
In the old days, 40 was the minimum.
Well, yeah, when I
for
played back in
most
the 90s, it would in the instruction book it said 40 was the minimum, but at the tournament 60 was the minimum.
Yeah,
Yep, depending
I
on the
believe
type of
60 is
tournament.
correct. I
Right.
believe you guys have the right of it. Again, I'm betraying the fact that I don't play standard. I only play Commander.
Well, we're betraying the fact that I stopped playing Magic when Fallen Empires came out.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to throw stone. Like, obviously, I'm in a glass house right now. Just like I'd be pitching rocks around at you. But like, we got really into it again, and but my interest has waned. I think a
Just
couple
come play
people I know-
Netrunner instead.
I love Netrunner. Don't get me wrong. I had the privilege of playing with some fine folks a couple months ago, and it was a blast.
Yeah. So why don't you play it all the time? We got meetups on.
Well, I
we
don't
got
even
meetup
play
tomorrow.
Magic anymore. I turned bitcoins into Magic. I turned Magic money into Magic cards, and now I can't
Well,
even
just
use
turn the
those.
Magic cards into Netrunner cards, and then you'll be done.
Or back into Bitcoins.
Wait, yeah.
I guess that opens your options a lot wider too. You can just turn them into drugs.
Yeah.
drugs for drugs.
Hey, can I get Adderall there? Wait, is this? Oh, I'm going to jail now. Never mind. Sorry.
That's fine. No, Adderall has been a hot topic on this show. And
That's
Yeah.
true. And no white person has ever gone to jail for taking Adderall.
No,
please.
I saw the worst statistic. It basically said that like marijuana is legal for white people in New York State.
Yep, pretty much.
By the way, the arrests have broken down.
I believe
Like if you're
that.
white, you could just have all the weed you want.
Is it targeted
And you can
enforcement?
run. You can.
Yes,
You can
pretty
drive
much.
as fast as you
Almost
want to.
all of the enforcement of marijuana laws in New York City was during stop and frisk.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah, it turns out there weren't that many guns. Just guys with like half a roach in their
9 bags
pocket.
of weed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Neat. Good
Well-
job, New York. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, but Bill's shutting that down. Bill's actually doing the best job he can. The problem is Bill doesn't actually decide anything.
There's been
because
less.
Cuomo
There's been
controls
less
it all.
gaming on this Tuesday show percentage-wise.
I'm so sorry.
Than any Tuesday show I've done. Not that I disagree with anything that was just said, because I don't.
How to lose money at Bitcoin, the Conrad Kreyling story.
Well, Bitcoin is sort of a game. A losing game.
A losing game, yes. You lost to the Winklevoss. Sorry.
So I've actually, if you played a Crypt of the Necrodancer,
I'm not familiar with this. No.
Wow, that's kind
It
of
is
up
a
your
rhythm.
alley.
It is a rhythm roguelike, but it's not too much rhythm. It needs more rhythm.
It's way more rhythm. You just haven't played it.
They added more rhythm.
Well, it's rhythm in that the enemies have really complex patterns.
Uh-huh.
So it's a rhythm roguelike, as in move, dig, move, potion, spell, move. I don't know what else I can say. You should just play it.
Huh.
Rim's really into that lately.
Yeah.
It sounds fun. It sounds like a blast. I played Sneak Beat, I believe it was called, on iOS back in the day. That was fun.
Yeah,
And
we're
again,
just-
I'm playing Love Live now, so just bury me, I guess.
All right, are we done here?
I think we're done. It's been about an hour.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
This is mostly an excuse to trick Conrad into coming to our house so we can hang out.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I could cook us some food. I got some shrimps.
Oh, that'd be great. So thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
Yeah,
I really,
sell your things to anyone who's the 5 people listening.
I really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to talk to me. I'm Conrad Kreyling, DateNighto.com. Just like it sounds, you can play an 18-plus visual novel where boys just get into each other in this beautiful 80s sci-fi pastiche. We got a Kickstarter coming up probably sometime in September. We've got a game definitely coming out in September. We Know the Devil, collaboration piece with Zeal and AVB and Mia Schwartz. I love you.
Oh, yeah, and come see us all at PAX.
Come see us all at PAX. Not me. I won't be there.
You're not going?
I'll be there, but I won't be there.
You won't be on the
I
panel.
won't be on the panel.
You'll be maybe in the audience asking really, really interesting questions.
No, I probably won't.
No, you're not going to ask a question?
No.
I think we're not going to take questions.
Good.
This has been Geek Nights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geek Nights is not 1, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.